as many of you know, the 100th anniversary of the Delta Chamber of Commerce. It's an opportunity to look back and celebrate what we've achieved over 100 years. And a lot of you in this room look around who have been with the chambers, are still with the chamber, and have been involved in the past as well. So it's a chance to look forward now in the next 100 years. And I hope to give a bit of an idea of what the chamber is doing now and planning to do in the future. The Delta Chamber of Commerce is celebrating its 100th anniversary. We're looking back 100 years ago. The chamber and the business in Delta started in good part on the water, and it does continue to this day, but of course on a much greater scale than it started out at. And this is really one of the defining elements of Delta, as we all know. And this is big business. The reports from Port Metro Vancouver is that the trade through the ports have increased, I think, to a higher level than they were before the downturn in the economy. So there's a lot of growth there, faster than we expected. And of course, people come and go through Delta on the water. And the river system is a very important part of Delta's business. And there's lots of business up, as Peter Potavinikoff would testify to. And so altogether, we have in this element of the Delta Chamber of Commerce the aspect of business on the water, and the idea of many things coming from afar and coming into a point and then going out again. So that's the idea behind this element in our logo. And of course, the other part of Delta business started on the land with farming, and it continues to this day with much further reach than it did in the past. We go in and we go out with the trade, there's traffic, as we know, roads, highways, all interconnected to the U.S. border, and of course the airport. And we have a lot to offer this province and this country through what we produce here in Delta. And so the same idea on the land, goods going in and out to the world, from the world. But we have a lot of contrast in Delta, which makes things interesting here. We have the farmland that we need to protect, but also other elements of life in Delta. And we have our communities, our residences, again, all things that need to be in balance. And this is why I think Delta is a perfect example, and I think a lot of people do see that as the opportunity to continue as a sustainable community despite all its tensions. So Delta is our home as well as our place to work, and we have some of the largest industrial parks in Canada. It's a big business, and we have some well-known companies that are here in Delta, the industrial parks, and we have some smaller companies. Of course, the Chamber of Commerce is 80% made up of small business. There we have a Chamber of Commerce in Delta, and we connect out on behalf of businesses through the BC Chamber of Commerce in this case, and take resolutions forward that we've done in the past, and also connect with the business and the network that is the BC Chamber of Commerce, chambers all over the province. Similarly with the Canadian Chamber of Commerce, we are connected into that network. There's business going on all the time with the federal government on behalf of the chambers who are members. So we are the voice of business, and we take that seriously and hope to live up to that on behalf of our members and our business community here in Delta. Tilbury Industrial Park roads. I'm just going to touch on that as an example of what the Chamber has done in the past. And what happened was when the original plan, and John and Thomas and Peter Potavinikoff and others, or Irene perhaps, were around at that time when the plan for the roads in Tilbury were quite narrow compared to what they needed to be. So the Chamber of Commerce got involved in that, and because of that, the roads were widened, and now trucks can move in and out through the industrial park. So that's what one example of what we've done over the past. Another one is Brownouts. About 10 years or so ago, Tilbury was experiencing brownouts constantly. And so the Delta Chamber of Commerce got involved, and they spoke up to BC Hydro, and BC Hydro went out and fixed the problem. So shipping containers, Kent Morgan's facility, among others, up in Tilbury, again, there was a bylaw passed by the municipality that proposed, and we got involved. And while the bylaw went ahead, there was some modification of the bylaw, so it wasn't so punitive. So we got involved there. Another one, which is on a national level, is the local companies are involved in direct mailing association, and they were being punished, if you like, for international mailings they were doing to the United States because of new regulations from Canada posed. So over 2 or 3 years at least, the Chamber was involved in correspondence back and forth, and also talking directly to the Minister of Transportation about this issue. And as a result, there was an article, a couple of items in the Financial Post. At the end of the day, legislation was recently passed, which is combined with other legislation which reduced, if not eliminated, that punitive regulation. Funding for the airport, we got involved, and the airport received funding for safety improvements there. Product of Canada labeling, that's a big issue, not only for the farmer, but for the consumer. And that was in terms of where the product comes from. Is it actually a product of Canada or not, and to what extent? So we were appealing to the federal government to tighten up its regulations, and we actually put our resolutions through the BC Chamber of Commerce, and subsequently to the Canadian Chamber of Commerce. And that ended up in some resolutions that were passed, and there's a light in the newspaper about that. Dredging the Ladner Harbour, we're all familiar with that. We have sent a letter to the Federal Finance Committee asking for support for more funding to come to Port Metro Vancouver so it can improve the dredging situation in the Ladner area. Housing, the Chamber got involved and pulled its members and won support for, spoke up in favor of the Polygon Delson Estates project, and subsequently for the Shadow Holdings project at Tsawwassen Golf and Country Club. Ports and infrastructure, we've spoken up on that, about improving, supporting the Chamber, or the communities adjacent to ports. We got involved with the Prince George Chamber of Commerce, and went to the BC Chamber of Commerce, got support for that, and also then teamed up with Halifax on a national resolution encouraging more funding, or sufficient funding from the federal and provincial governments to support our ports. So our priorities of our members, attract new members. We've done that in recent time. We've got new members, and we hope to build on that. It's very important to build the strength, to build the voice of business, as well as revenue by recruiting our members. We also, the members have said we want to be an active advocate for business, and we do that again through the various levels of government and through the BC Chamber of Commerce and Canadian Chamber of Commerce in the province across the country. Economic development, we've got on a large scale, industrial parks, port, etc. And something new, we're launching this Feed the Bees campaign to support agriculture, get people to plant plants that are bee friendly, and keep up the population of bees, which are disappearing in areas on Vancouver Island and other parts of the Fraser Valley. And we've heard about this perhaps over the continent, that this is a problem, and this being a major agricultural area, it's important that we support our agricultural area in our cities as well, or our communities as well as in the farming areas. Just another thing of food chain item we had a while ago, very important again for Delta and how we're connected into that. Economic development in terms of transit and access of employees to Tilbury and Brownouts Island industrial parks. So while it's transit and it's transportation related, it's actually a human resource issue. It's quite a problem, and costs go up to businesses because the people can't get in or they can't hire people or keep them. So this is another issue that we're taking on more seriously. Finally, provide learning opportunities for members. And these are the top priority topics. Still, small business advice and trends. We've had various speakers, Peter Legge, who would have heard of, Bank of Canada, social media. Ryan spoken here a while ago. Small business advice, a series of workshops that we were helped to initiate actually. Delta Chamber of Commerce worked with DCIT on the original series of business workshops, which now are offered throughout the province. Another topic is what we have to keep at is South Fraser perimeter roads and bridges. For instance, there's a possible proposal that in the Tilbury area where the South Fraser perimeter road meets that area to put in an intersection, and we're speaking up quite loudly about that will cause another problem. It cause a bottleneck, slow traffic down, increase the risk of traffic hazards. And so we've had other speakers in, Gordon Houston, the past CEO of the Port Metro Vancouver. We've had a panel about that. The current CEO now, he just arrived a while ago. And growth and development. An example, we just recently had a session on Zone C, and we just heard about from this club, when Tom Leafman came in. Development there. Also, Metro Vancouver, we're involved in that. So the Lower Mainland Regions, Lower Mainland Chambers Transportation Panel, and the competitiveness and economy, that we deal with that by connecting in with the BC and Canadian Chambers of Commerce. Various other types of programs, with Chamber Cafe, which is people bring topics in and make their own program around a given issue that they are interested in, and take away the learning from that and create their own community sometimes around their issue. Up close and personal, we haven't done that for a while, but visiting manufacturing plants, that sort of thing. And after 5 social networking events have been quite popular. We just had one last Thursday, plus a trade show that seemed to go well. And finally, member networking, and we do that a variety of ways, and we're doing more social media. We're stepping that up in the next little while, so hope to be in touch with people more frequently and effectively. And then there's just in person. And we have our Hats Off Gala on November 19th, and that's another networking fun event that will be close to Austin Inn. And we have a variety of benefits for members on a national or provincial basis, discounts. The biggest one of all, I think, is most attractive, is the group health insurance program for companies of about 1 to 50 employees. Finally, we're very grateful to our sponsors and throughout the year, and so thank you to them. And volunteers is, of course, a volunteer organization driven by the members, and there are many elements to volunteer through in the Chamber to contribute to the business community. And in 2005, we were pleased to receive a Chamber of the Year Award from the BC Chamber of Commerce, and then last year the National Accreditation of Distinction standard to reach to say you're doing a reasonably good job as a chamber. And so there we have the Delta Chamber of Commerce, and we celebrate 100 years and look forward to the next 100 years. Thank you all. Many of you from the business community have been part of that, and hope we can continue to improve and add value for our members' membership. Thank you.